Alex, what's going on?
Good.
Harry, glance to my right. Look at this
Morning,
guy.
gentlemen and ladies.
And we got everyone. Diane Patone came in from our office, and she brings in, hey, Diane, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
All right, great to see you. And, of course, you brought in James Parker from the RE/MAX office, the RE/MAX Vision in Huntington Woods. It's a great office right there off of Woodward. Hey, man, welcome to the show, James.
Good morning, everyone.
All right.
Hey,
Hey,
buddy.
do we have that microphone up by
Is
you,
that
James?
hit the get that on?
I got
All right,
it.
we got
it.
him, man. He's loud and
All right,
clear.
good.
All
That's
right.
my old stomping grounds, man.
Huntington
By the
Woods.
Detroit Zoo, Huntington Woods, Oak Park, Woodward Corridor, up and down that area.
James, of course, you do you do sell anywhere in the Tri-County area. I know you work all the 5 counties, and it was great talking to you. And I know you work with Diane here in the last year. You guys have had a tremendous success. Really great to have you on. So we're looking for some insight from you. And, of course, anyone who's listening, be sure to call in the show today. If you haven't yet listed your house, if you haven't sold your house and you're looking for some additional ways and maybe to get that house marketed properly, definitely want to give us a phone call here. And you always got to get your approval letter at Capital Mortgage. We're open all weekend long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Call now. You can get an approval typically the same day. Just got to provide your documentation.
Always the same day, buddy.
Always the same day. If you got your
It takes 2
documents.
seconds.
Right, yeah. Well, you got to have some documentation together. We do all sorts of types of approvals, but the one key approval is to make sure that you're a cash buyer and you're ready to go. What that means is you've been run through the system, your documents have been verified.
Right.
We know exactly who you are. And I'll tell you, your real estate agent's going to want you to have that.
Well, Harvey, we talked about it last week. Right now, and James can verify this, the summer season, even though it's 88 degrees out right now, the summer selling season is coming to a close. There are a few stragglers left in September. There'll be a few more through October 15th, maybe the 30th. But right now, you're talking about rates are starting to go up. All right?
I agree with that. There's still plenty of opportunity out there. If you're in the market, you partner with the right realtor, and they'll make it happen for you.
And that's why it's so important to get that pre-approval in, and then we can after you find that property, we'll lock you in. We'll lock you into a rate. So if you need a rate for 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, we can lock you in for that rate. So you don't want to miss out, because rates right now, in my estimation, been saying it for a while, they've got nowhere to go but up. So if you're looking at purchasing a new home,
You mean they're not going to zero?
they're not going to zero,
Okay.
refining your existing home, and you want to save money, you know where to call. Where do you call, Harv?
Capital Mortgage Fund, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Harry, that sounded just like the commercial that we've been urging,
God.
You
urging
get my joke?
people.
You guys got that?
Yeah, I got that. Rates aren't going to zero.
All right.
They are definitely not going to zero. In fact, Harry, as we know, they held a little bit of ground yesterday, but there's no doubt over the last 2 weeks, now we're starting to see the higher rates of 2017. We had a nice 2-month run, pretty much July through August, but since about after Labor Day, we have seen the rates starting to trickle up. And, of course, geopolitical events are really the reason why some people have been moving their money
Good
into
word,
the
Harvey.
stocks. You like that one?
Yeah,
I like that.
for sure. I'm
I
impressed.
wrapped that up this morning.
We have seen some money move from the stock market into the MBS, the mortgage-backed securities. And with that being said, anything can happen. Lock in now, and if you're out there trying to buy a house, get approved. And
Well,
go for it.
James will tell you right now. Now going into the fall, first day of fall was this past week, and you're going into the fall/winter is the best time to buy a house, because people who have their homes on the market right now, they're serious.
That's right. And, there tends to be less competition right now, too. So if you're out there and you've been dragging your feet, I think now is the time. A lot of people tend to list in the spring. And so with the fall market, it's less competition, and it probably prompts you to get a better deal on something that you're in love with.
Right. So what Alex Nafusi always says, Alex, there aren't less homes on the market. There's less what on the market?
There's less good deals on the market.
There's less quality what?
Quality homes, yeah.
Right.
You're going to pay top dollar for it right now. There's so many realtors come on the show and they say that there's no listings out there, there's no houses out there. No, there's plenty of houses. You just have to pay top dollar for them.
For the good ones.
You can't. People, they want a Ford Festiva price, but they want a Ferrari, and it's not going to happen.
All right. Home equity definitely all around
that was my rant. That's all you're
No, we're going to let you come back to that. But everyone's got equity
I was
out
trying
there.
to be nice this morning. The sun, look at the sun's out. It's going to be 96
Gorgeous
degrees.
day, yeah.
I'm
You
going to
are
play golf
nice.
with my dad this afternoon. Yeah, it's
I
good.
wrote down a whole bunch of things you can do today in the weather. You can go boating, you can go swimming, you can go play golf. You can finish cleaning your yard and get ready for the
Not
fall
doing that.
winterizing. Doing a lot of fall stuff. Get on your roof and don't fall off and clean your gutters.
Don't say that.
No?
Because my dad cleans his own gutters still.
He's still doing that
He's
stuff.
almost 70 and still gets on the roof to clean his own gutters.
We don't want to hear
We don't
that.
want that, broski.
But everyone's got equity, Alex, now. And there's no doubt that we've had lots of clients been calling recently and taking advantage of what they have now. We're at the end of the summer. We had appraisers in here. Mike Tomchek talked about it. Now would probably be the best time to go ahead and do that cash out refinance, because when we appraise your house and you're trying to maximize the dollars you can pull out of the house, now we're using the comparable sales from the summertime. In the last 3 months, plenty of the areas around here, Southeast Michigan, were bid up, and people did pay top dollar. Now, those are the comparable sales, and now that's going to give you an opportunity to potentially pull the equity you need out of your home to consolidate debt.
Yes, we did have Mike on the show a couple weeks ago. Then we brought Mike into our sales meeting, and we let everybody know that now is the best time to go ahead and get an appraisal because of the summer sales in there. But understand this, a $250,000 house is still a $250,000 house. It's not going to come in at $275,000. It's not going to come in at $280,000. Right, James? What do you say about that?
I'd agree. I think you have to be realistic. The numbers don't lie. This has been happening for years. We all use the same information to identify value, and I think the value is there. I think it's really bounced back over the last few years, and that it's just a strong market right now. So if you're out there and you want to sell, I think the numbers are there.
Yeah, tremendously. But you know what? We talk about it. You know, that patio that you put on, the crown molding. We have the old crown molding joke.
I don't want to talk about patio.
That doesn't add value. What it adds to somebody coming in and looking at the house, and maybe they like it for quality of life purposes.
I'd agree with that. There's some misconceptions out there about what true value purchase items really increase value for property. Patios, swimming pools.
No, right?
Right. That doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, but people get emotional about that.
They do.
They're very emotional about their patio, aren't they, Alex?
I'm emotional. I'm about writing checks for it.
As he was showing me pictures of his new stamped concrete or whatever that is. I don't know.
Harvey, a couple weeks ago,
bullets are in my backyard for 2
Harvey
weeks.
was making fun of me because I said, Alex is in his backyard. He's got a batting cage. He's got this. He's got that. But you know what? He did put in I'm not going to tell you the dollar amount of patio.
I know. I just saw the
pictures. He's got a big old patio and a garden and everything back there. He's loving it back there.
Horseshoe pad. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, the thing is, he's not going anywhere.
It's quality of life.
After a 5-year search for homes, obviously, and dragging some of the real estate agents you work with around town, he's decided to put money back into his house, and he's going to go that route. And hey, you already got the 15 years, so you're probably pretty close to owning that free and clear.
It is. I'm happy with it, man. I mean, it's quality of life. It's really it's what it comes down to.
James, you mentioned it. We've come a long way since really the fourth quarter of 2009, when home values were at their all-time low.
Right.
Boy, did we feel it on the chin here in Southeast Michigan.
Yeah.
Unemployment was looming. People were underwater in the house. Folks, it just happened. It felt like it was yesterday. Some of you weren't even in the industry. But truly, we don't want you to use your house as a piggy bank. And now is a great opportunity, and we keep urging you to go ahead and take a look at your mortgage. Rid yourself of the PMI, the mortgage insurance. Rid yourself of MIP if you're on an FHA loan. Get rid of that first and second mortgage if you're just paying interest only on those home equity lines. Those end up being a burden on most families. So definitely call the experts at Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, and find out what you can do to consolidate your debt and get your mortgage all set up.
So Harvey and James, Alex and I talk about it all the time. As mortgage guys, we're supposed to do as many mortgages as we can for the longest term and all that kind of thing. But Alex and I, our favorite mortgage program is when we take somebody from a 30 down to a 20, a 30 down to a 25, a 30 down to a 15, a 15 down to a 10, when we actually reduce the term and save people money over the long haul. That's really our favorite program. It's not to extend it out and give somebody, the longest term. We want to shorten terms, and we want to save people money.
It's always on a case-by-case basis, and it depends on someone's, monthly debt load. But the whole point of a mortgage is to pay it off. Even if you save someone $200 a month, if you extend the term by another 5 years, you're not saving your clients any money. You're not doing anything. That's a schlep rock way to sell a product. Yeah,
the only thing that you could say for that is, and if you're not going to be in the house for a long period of time and you have a cash flow situation, and you could save $200, $300, $400, $500 a month, even $100 a month, depending on your situation, it might be okay to extend that term knowing that you're going to sell the house. That's where you come in.
That's right.
Okay, you're going to sell that house for somebody, and you're probably in this market next year for the foreseeable future. The market is going to stay pretty strong.
I agree. I think that people tend to drag out the mortgage process without enough information. I think the key is to really partner with someone who knows what's going on and develop a plan specifically for you.
That's great. No, absolutely. We talked last night all about that.
You know, the cool thing, my team that I work with, at our firm, it's super easy. I mean, I have Mark, and we hired him the other, when did we hire him? Like a month ago, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. I mean, we make it really. It's super easy. We send you a list of documents you need, and you go from there. It's not that hard. It's not difficult.
You have to have a team in anything. To be successful, you have to have a team that's going to support you, that's going to be behind you, and make sure that everything runs right. And you have to have a plan. You cannot just go through all life and not have a plan.
All right, when we come back, we're going to put a great plan together for you. If you're out there trying to become a homeowner, we'll show you the ways to do it.
What's
and
that?
definitely time to save some money on refinancing.
that.
1-800-LOW-RATE at Capital Mortgage Funding, 248-539-9797. Come on back and join us here.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Danberg for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Grosse Ile, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Good morning and welcome back. It's 9:32. You should listen to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. You can always check us out on Facebook Live as we've been bringing you the shows here. I think we're in our 10th or 11th week. And again, this is the place you want to call. Get approved now. Get your approval in hand and go out there and make an offer with confidence and have all your ducks in a row. That's really the key. We got tons to share with you. Of course, mortgage rates have dipped to 2017 lows. If you got a lot of equity, you're looking to do a home project, maybe consolidate your first and second mortgage, give us a phone call. We'll hook you up with all sorts of great numbers and show you ways to save money. Again, taking your calls here live in the studio. We brought in Lee and Noel Bittinger from the Bittinger team out in Canton area, of course, Ford Road and Canton Center. I loved your office. Thank you for inviting me there this week. It's really cool stuff. Hope to do some business with you. And again, we'll share some referrals and try to make some families happy and show them the way to home ownership. Let's move off to some calls here. First, we'll try Tom out there in St. Clair Shores. Good morning, Tom, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. How
Tom,
are
what's
you,
up, man?
gentlemen?
I'm good. How are you,
Thanks.
sir?
Good, thank you. Got a quick question about mortgage paperwork. I'm selling a house in St. Clair Shores, going to buy a house in Macomb Township. What do I need to get everything in a row? Because right now what I'm doing is working on the house in St. Clair Shores, trying to get it ready to sell as soon as possible because we've already actually moved. So what exactly do I need to get ready so that when I'd like to get somebody in here to get an estimated value for both homes. What's my next step, I guess, is my question.
Well, hire an agent is your next step for sure. Yeah.
On the mortgage end of things, I like when you talked about the mortgage paperwork. There's about 7 items that any particular owner would need. Tom, just one extra set of items because you're going to be purchasing the new house and then hanging on to your existing one for a couple months, right?
Well, actually, what I'd like to do is get rid of the old house first and then take that paperwork right to the next house.
Okay, well, you can almost do things simultaneously. And again, I'm going to call after the show and get your email, and I'll send you the list of about 6 items. But for all the listeners out there, it's typically 2 years of your tax returns. And again, if you have 1099s or W-2s, those are needed. And you want all the paperwork should be in its complete form. All the mortgage people are going to like what they're hearing this morning. So your bank statements, if you have 6 pages, you need all 6 pages. 2 months bank statements. We call it the theory of 2. 2 pay stubs, 2 bank statements. Your 2 years of your tax returns.
Tom, let me jump in real quick. What do you mean about paperwork, man? I mean, what do you asking about mortgage paperwork?
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. No?
Uncensored. Pat Caputo and Braylon Edwards preview all the day's important matchups. Mike Valenti takes you up to game time with hard-hitting opinions and the truth behind the storylines. After the game, get all the analysis on your Lions and the rest of the league on the Game Day Uncensored post-game show with Jeff Rieger. Game Day Uncensored, Sundays on 97.1 The Ticket.
Detroit Pistons basketball. One more reason when you think of sports, you think of Detroit's #1 sports station.
97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show, 918. If you're just joining us, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call at the office, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Ronnie J., the entire staff's usually there all weekend long to help you get consolidated, show you how much you qualify for, teach you about all these programs, teach you about ways to get your credit up. Boy, if you're not calling Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, you're probably wasting some time here. But we got lots of calls to get to, and you can be one of those callers at 248-539-9797. Scott from Harrison Township. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. How you guys
Hey,
doing?
Scott, what's up,
Morning,
man?
Scott. What's up?
I wanted to refinance my house, put an addition on my cottage, and I also was wondering, could I refinance my cottage also?
Of course.
Refinance a second house, a second home.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the current balance on the cottage?
About $150,000.
And what's it worth?
What's it worth? Probably about $150,000.
So you're not so there's no equity to take out. There's no equity to take out of that house. What about your primary? What's the balance on the house you live in?
The house is worth about $250,000 and it's paid off.
Oh, so
there you go.
So
The
that's,
cottage is paid off also.
Oh, the cottage paid
the
off, so
cottage
you have
paid
no
off.
lien. There's no loan on the cottage either.
No,
Okay.
neither one. They're both paid off.
There you go.
It's a very simple transaction, sir. It's super easy. There's nothing to do. I mean,
And how much equity could you pull out of the house?
you can go to 80% loan to value.
About 80%.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's what I thought, because I had one company and they didn't want to give me more than $30,000.
No,
Why
and,
is that?
and bottom line is you're going to keep these properties for a while.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to go on a fixed rate. You're going to make sure there's not going to be an adjustable rate mortgage in your future. We want to put you on a fixed rate. Rates are low right now. It's a great time. We talked about it, and no matter what anybody says, people say that I keep saying rates are going to go down. Well, in fact, this week
We'll
they've
get
gone
to
up.
that.
But we'll get to that. But yeah, you're calling it a perfect time. You're doing it a perfect time right now.
Oh, that's great. Good, because that's what I understood, too. I thought I could get about 8% out of that.
Yeah, Scott, we'll call after the show and take care of you. It's a pretty simple transaction, sir. So
I've already had it appraised and everything else, so I've been doing the legwork already.
okay,
That'd be
perfect.
great.
We'll
Good.
call after the show and get you taken care of, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Awesome.
You
Thanks,
guys
Scott.
have
All righty.
call.
Definitely is going to save money on a refinance transaction, that's for sure. Let me throw that out there because he did mention sort of at the end of that conversation, he went ahead and did his own appraisal. I'll tell you, it's fine if you want to spend the money. Lenders can't use your own individual appraisal because that whole industry changed. Again, appraisals are ordered through the lender. But, hey, at least he has a good perspective, and he's going to save enough money anyways and put his plans moving forward for his addition. So that's going to work out. 248-539-9797. Be sure to join our show here. We've got...
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
Let me jump in real quick.
Go
man.
on. I love
So I'm looking at the ticket text, and some genius, says, fires on, says, you keep saying rates aren't going to zero, and I don't know, something. What do you say? They have gone down.
No, he said rates aren't going down, but yet they have gone down. Well, actually, they're going up.
Whatever.
They're trending
going,
up, and they're
you guys
going to
have to
go
understand
up.
something, okay? When we say rates aren't going to zero, we're trying. I'm here. When rates go down, we do more business, which makes us more money. We're telling you guys they're going up.
Right.
Trying to protect you as clients and the consumer. I'm not. It's not a hustle. I'm not saying wait. I'm telling. We're protecting you guys.
Yeah. So it would be the other way around if we're trying to pull something. I would tell you rates are going down. Okay. So it's just not true. All right, I just don't know how to say
That's
it.
going to hit your back a little bit.
I appreciate that. It's okay.
And Harry and I will challenge you to most sports, but that's off the
will
record.
do
That's
that.
something
Yeah, right.
entirely
Harvey likes
different.
that too, right.
Yeah, that's something entirely different. Hey, come and join our show.
Wait, what did I miss?
Oh, no big deal.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you later.
248-539-9797 here live on 97.1 The Ticket. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show. We always talk about great ways to purchase home and things that are going on. There's so many great programs out there, James Parker, as you know, 3% down conventional, 3.5% down FHA, and lots of other programs. Mishta loans out there for families that really need to get their hands on some money to purchase a house. What do you see as some of the holdups, and give me a little perspective on what you feel like is out there?
So what I've been really noticing is that people are still failing to get over their fears about home buying. Look, I've been on multiple sides of the table. I've been a buyer, I've been a seller, I've been a landlord, I've been an investor, and now I'm a realtor. So my experience really allows me to understand that discomfort. But the challenge with being fearful of things is to know that on the other side there's success. And it's particularly about putting together a plan that's going to allow you to get there. And so that comes with partnering with great people. And I've worked with Diane here at Capital Mortgage Funding, and I'm happy to be here with you, Diane. Good morning.
Thank you.
I knew she was going to say something. I'm glad you mentioned Diane. Here's something really cool about Diane is, like, I met Diane when she joined from another organization about 5 years ago. Diane's been in the business for 20 years. She
doesn't look that old.
No, she
started early.
She started. Diane, you're a processor. I mean, I go to Diane for questions. I mean, this girl's an expert. I mean, there's nothing wrong with finding people that are experienced in knowledge. That knowledge gives you the confidence to move forward. It gives all the families.
I agree. Working with Diane here, she has really been an asset to my team. And me and her, we talked often about how what my vision would be for my career and whatnot, what I want to get done in this industry. And it's really about working with the best of the best in the mortgage industry, where that comes down to a title company.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, Diane's just off the hooks, great at mortgages, understands all the programs and stuff, and great working with people. And also, you do something that we do at Capital Mortgage. We have the special program for first responders, get discounted programs. We're across the board. We have all sorts of affinity programs where these are set up with the UAW, and so do you. So, and you also were working with, you have your former employees and a lot of the guys you still work with at Comcast and some other places. We have, not only do we save you money, we get you the right house.
Yeah, exactly. So part of my grassroots marketing program is really to focus on small groups of individuals that's part of an organization, and really go from there, build a platform of people that I can represent from that environment.
Yeah, that's interesting, because back in 1992, we started our firm based on a referral program from lawyers, CPAs, financial planners, talking to small groups, and then building it from there. Those referrals are very, very strong. They're loyal. People want your help. They're looking to you for advice and putting that plan together. And we say you can't do anything without a plan. You got to map out your plan. I like you use the word vision, but you have to have vision for the people that you represent as well. You have to sit down. You have to find out what their goals and objectives are and sit down and map that out for them so you know how to best represent them.
I'd agree.
All right. Also, is it a better time to buy a house now? I mean, look, the multiple bid, is that craziness still going on out there? I mean, we got the kids in school now.
It's got to stop.
Is that a better time to buy now, going into, really with fall just being yesterday? I guess it's fall. But is it a better time to buy now heading into these winter months?
I would agree.
Okay.
I would agree. Again, mortgage rates are headed up. So if the longer you wait, the more it costs you. It's simple math.
And Harvey, I would say, I think, and Alex, maybe you could verify this too, the PAs that are coming across my desk, purchase agreements, I'm seeing there are multiple offers on them. So when we get a call for a pre-approval, you have to turn it very fast, because there still are, on quality homes, as Alex would say, there's still multiple offers going in, because if it's a quality situation, there's still buyers out there.
I agree, but I'm telling you, man, that fill-in building, there's more and more of those houses that have been knocked down that are sitting vacant right now, man.
Okay, let's talk about that.
We got to be careful with this.
Yeah, but those price points are, like you said, they're pretty high.
They are, and people are realizing, like, I'm not going to spend $500,000 for
maybe
2,000 square feet.
Maybe a builder's willing to negotiate this time of year. All right, we're up against a quick break here. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Grosse Ile, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville, no matter where you live. We want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Well, welcome back. You are listening to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. Oh, I love listening to him.
Pop Sears,
I gotta get out there maybe
He's
tonight.
one of our own.
Might cancel plans and do a little Yui out there to Pine Knob tonight. Anyways,
I have some stories that I can't tell, but they're really good.
we'll keep those to yourself. Hey, you're listening to Hardcore Mortgage Show again, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call at the office all week long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Always here live in the studio at 248-539-9797. We got some calls to get to. Special thanks to all our first responders across the country. We've been helping a lot of you guys get mortgages and reaching out to help people. Look, if you're a first responder, you want to be knowledgeable about your home purchase, or you're looking to refinance, we have some special programs set up for you there at Capital Mortgage. Deal with people that are passionate and care about you, and again, we'll help you save a lot of money. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Some other quick business to get to. Debt consolidation. I'm telling you, folks, a little dip in interest rates. 2017. Right now, we are experiencing the lowest rates of 2017, and just another opportunity to refinance and add your first and second mortgage together, or maybe pay off that toxic debt, that high credit card interest rate you have on that.
Yeah, and listen, don't look a gift horse in the mouth if the rates are in the high threes. Okay, if you're sitting at 4.25%, 4 3/8, 4.5%, and you can get a mortgage at 3.99%, 3.875%. Don't call your guy and say, I'm waiting till they go down to 3.5%. It's not going to happen. And by the way, you're going to kill yourself for an eighth in rate when you could save money, and then the rates are going to go away, and you're going to say, I should have done it.
I've got a client.
What are you waiting
he's
for?
A good client. He's a good dude. He's a smart guy. He's the 3 7/8 on a 15-year, and he's holding out for 2.99.
Oh, that,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Right.
you're right.
Listen.
You're right there, man. What are you doing?
Hey, real quick on the refis, I will tell you right now, if you were waiting to refi and now is the time to do it if you're concerned about your property value, because right now, as far as appraisal values, they will be the absolute highest they will ever be in Michigan.
Great point.
Right. The summer sales,
this time
right?
of year, yep. So you'll be able to use June,
That's
July,
right.
and August sales. So right now, it will be as high as it can possibly be.
Well, we're taking your
That's a
calls.
great point,
248-539-9797. Let's go off to our first call this morning out in Highland. We've got Josh calling in. Good morning and welcome to our show, Josh.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
I'm good.
Hi,
How are you,
Josh.
sir?
How you doing?
Terrific. So great topic this morning. We purchased a house out in the Highlands here just last fall. I got a smoking deal on it, and it's the premier property on a lakefront out here. Tons of acreage, ranch with a walkout, just a terrific, terrific home. And I'm wondering what sort of factors we can count on to help us when we have to refi coming this spring to sort of maybe get a higher appraisal than what's going on in the neighborhood.
Well, Mike Tomchek is the lake guy. He specializes in lakes, so you called at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. So what they'll do, the first thing that they should look at is they're going to look at comparable homes that are also on lakes that are comparable to the lake you're on. Is it an all-sports lake that you're on?
It is. And
Yeah.
actually, our frontage is on 2 all-sports lakes.
Geez, oh, Pete. Okay, yeah. So they're going to look at homes on all sports lakes. If you're on acreage like you said you were, they're going to look at other homes on large sites that are also on all sports lakes. And then after that, they're going to look at homes that are similar, at least similar in square footage. And by similar, I mean they try and keep it within 25% size difference limit.
The Ticket.
Brought to you by Bill Brown Ford. Manager Brett Hoffman said the Tigers will not be back next season. That was announced yesterday. His record in nearly 4 years, 312 up, 325 down. Tigers and Twins again today from Comerica Park. 6 p.m. right here on 97-1 The Ticket. Twins over the Tigers yesterday 7-3. Michigan football today at Purdue at 4 p.m. on AM 950 WWJ and 104.3 FM WOMC. Michigan State on the road at Notre Dame tonight. Lions and Falcons tomorrow at Ford Field. Both teams 2-0. Both teams slightly banged up. At Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticket.com.
Your sports therapy session.
97.1 The Ticket.
in us.
Segment 3, bro.
Segment 3, is it? All right.
Yeah, well, 3 because we had the first one, and that one we just concluded. Now we're going in the third one.
September 23rd, if you're just waking up. It's like,
how am I doing? Hey, the guys behind the glass are just cracking up.
I feel like it's, I don't know, mid-June or July here, but absolutely a gorgeous day outside. Get out there and enjoy the great weather here we have in Michigan.
Can we discuss Kid Rock real quick?
No.
We can, and I want to congratulations for surviving the week, and a great job by Kid Rock and his band, man. They tore it up down there.
That guy, if he leaves nothing on the table, man, that guy goes full throttle. Anybody didn't go see that the arena or that show, you're missing out, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to a hockey game in a few weeks.
On the 5th? Is that the first one?
Maybe, I don't know. Is it the 9th?
The first one?
October 9th?
Have you seen that arena yet?
I have.
Dude, that's
awesome.
That is
awesome.
Oh,
salute to the Village family again out there. Hey, let's move on to Tim out there in St. Clair Shores. Tim, welcome to our show. You got a question or something going on with a real estate agent? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just, thanks for taking my call, first of all, but I'm working with somebody, and I guess the main question is it unusual to look at other houses when you are, when you've made an offer on one house? So you've got an offer sheet in.
Oh, you're a cheater.
What's that?
You're cheating.
I want to hear what James has to say.
He's being sarcastic. Sit tight.
Good. So you're looking at other houses after you have an offer in?
Well, Tim, you got an offer accepted. You're moving forward with this house, correct? Are you doing an inspection and that kind of stuff?
Right. And so, but the thing is, with the house at the offer, I'm going FHA.
Okay.
And the seller is able to keep the house on the market until that inspection is complete.
So the inspection or the appraisal's complete?
Both of them.
Okay, so that's odd. I don't get that. So who's going to spend the money? And then I'm going to let James answer. Who's going to spend the money on? If you're buying the house and you have an offer accepted, you're going to spend money on an inspection. Let's call it $350, and an appraisal $500. And then what if they say we're not taking your offer? Or how are they going to take other offers while you're moving forward?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, James.
So typically, what happens is. You submit an offer, the seller accepts your offer and gives you the inspection phase. Once you have your private inspection, if you are okay and good with the inspection, you bottom line the PA, you move forward, and the property should be marked pending at that point.
And then at that point in time, what he's asking is they shouldn't be showing the house anymore, correct?
Not at all.
And that's what you're saying, Tim, right?
Right.
They keep showing the house.
Exactly.
And you're saying
it's under
the inspection
contract.
came fine. It's under contract. Did you ask your realtor?
Right. Why does it? So Tim, hang on 1 second, buddy. So the topic right here says working with a skittish realtor. What's up with your realtor?
Well, he's not wanting to show me other properties.
Well, you're under contract. You're under contract right now.
Yeah. So typically, what happens is once you get an accepted offer on a property or a purchase. The ideal is that you're going to move forward on that property. So your realtor, to some extent, I could see why his practice would be to move forward on the property that you have an accepted offer on, because that's where his focus is, to walk the process.
But Tim, are you saying, because the seller is still agreeing to consistently show the house to other people, you feel like you don't really have a sewn up deal, and that's why you're out there still looking at other homes?
Exactly. I feel like if I found something else in the interim, I don't want to miss out on something.
Yeah, but you're already under contract, Tim.
Yeah,
it's like getting engaged and then going to Spearmint Rhino.
Okay, but why can the seller still show it if I can't?
They shouldn't be showing it.
They shouldn't be is the answer.
Right.
Okay, so how do I? So any suggestions?
Well, I mean, look, they can do whatever they want. They can't accept another offer, though, James. They can do whatever they want.
They can't. Your contract is the standard right now. If you wanted, Tim, if you were to think about it like this, the sellers probably wouldn't be happy about you considering going out and putting an offer on another property, because how would you get out of your existing contract with them?
Right.
If you put an earnest money deposit up and wanted to walk away after private inspection, if that was the only contingency you had, you would be putting that earnest money deposit in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, no money's exchanged hands at this point.
Well, I'm a little confused on how your offer is set up at this point. Again, purchase agreements accepted.
Tim, when are you looking to close on this transaction? When's this going to be done? What's it say on the purchase agreement? What's the date that says has to close on or before when?
Mid-November.
Okay, so you're done with the inspection. You're good to go with that. You have your financing in place. When are you going to be approved for the loan?
I'm pre-approved right now.
Yeah, I know, but the approval process would only take 30 days. So 30 days from now is the end of October. Why are we not closing at the end of October? Because truly, as all the people in this room will tell you, all the agreements and contracts and mortgages that we're writing now on purchases,
30 to 45 days.
The agents are telling us, hey, Harvey, we want to close the end of October. And I'm like, yeah, sounds great to us. Yeah, we're going to close it before then. Not mid-November. Why are you guys so strung out?
This is how it's been built by the realtor.
2 more questions. I'm going to get you out of here, too, Tim, because we're going to follow up after this. Your mortgage banker's aware of all this stuff?
Yeah.
Does your mortgage banker seem extremely knowledgeable? Are you calling us? Are you getting some good answers? If you're not, I'm going to call you after the show. And since we're early in the pre-approval stage, welcome aboard. I'm going to become your mortgage guy. Maybe we can help you move forward in the right direction.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim.
All right. Thanks for the call. It never ceases to amaze us. We hear everything on the Hardcore Mortgage Show.
How is there no money? How is there no earnest money deposit?
If you have a signed purchase agreement
There
on an
should have been
FHA,
an earnest money deposit.
Yeah. On all transactions, for good faith to show that you're moving forward. And
That's right.
It's held by the real estate agent's broker or in their escrow account. It's cashed.
Yep.
Then we document that the earnest money deposit did come out of your account. If it's an FHA transaction, we get a copy of the bank statement showing the funds were removed from your account, and they get credit for it.
Right.
There's a lot going on in any transaction out there. And again, and you mentioned it, James, you need a plan. You need to be working with professionals. And we're still hearing a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yeah. His story is not all too often I hear that sort of thing happening, but it's definitely something that you want to address. Identifying the right character traits in a realtor is going to be optimal. It's, really, for me, when I'm looking for a realtor, you know what I do? I typically ask questions that I know the answer to or that I can easily fact check. And then that'll kind of let me know if you're going to mislead me on other projects or ideas or things moving forward.
Right,
Simple things.
Yeah. But I also think, as you know, and we could tell, there's more to the story.
Oh, for sure.
There's way more to that story.
You got to fill in that circle.
I'll call.
Here's the thing,
there's a lot of stuff going on out here.
To Tim's point, though, where it's it said working with a skittish realtor, then that's what the topic on the screen said. Anytime you hire somebody, if you're uncomfortable and they seem skittish, you're fired.
That's not a good mix.
That's not a good thing, man.
Yeah, you're not starting with that client. I wrote it down last night. 248-539-9797. Come and join our show. We want to hear from you. Folks, I know we see what's going on out there, and you just heard that call. So you definitely want to get in touch with more professional people. If you're currently renting a home, call us. Find out how easy it is to get qualified for a mortgage. And Diane, just like we know, boy, people are paying top dollar for rent nowadays and just throwing money out the window. Why pay for your landlord's mortgage? If you really are going to stay here and own a house one day, go ahead and own a house one day.
It's so important that people take the steps to talk to a professional, maybe interview a couple people, get some really professional opinions. You'd be surprised at what your licensed realtor and your experienced mortgage professional can help you with, finding special programs, coaching you to a pre-approval. Maybe you're not ready until spring, but you can start looking into it now to make it a smooth and easy
You've
process.
got a great radio voice.
She really does.
You sound super cute.
Relaxed talking to our houses.
Cute. That's a nice voice. I like that.
She's super cute.
Diane, you've helped me with some of the products we have, regarding second mortgages, renovation loans. I mean,
we have all kinds of products at Capital Mortgage Funding. So, call us, the experts, and we'll take a look at what might be right for you.
Sounds good to me. Well, here, the thing is that we'll help you along. We'll hold your hand along in the process. Alex, I talk about your credit software that you do.
Yeah.
Diane will hold your hand through a 203K transaction. There's all kinds of things that will hold your hand through the transaction.
Including, right, and we got that renovation loan for any of you families out there that are looking to really fix up your house. Conventional renovation loans are available. Be sure to call Capital Mortgage Funding, a 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We'll be right back on the show, 248-539-9797.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Oh, man, I just love it. I can't even talk when this is on.
Bob Seger. He's the best.
I'm not going to sing. Hey, you're listening to the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Yeah, playing a little Seger today. Why not? He's got one of his last shows coming up at Pine Knob tonight. And
I know Bob Seger listens to this show.
He's a Michigan guy. You know what I love about Bob Seger? Not only does he listen to the show, he lives here. I mean, that's what's cool.
Well, he lives across the lake from a friend of mine.
What are the odds Kid Rock shows up tonight?
What is that?
What are the odds Kid Rock shows up tonight?
He's showing up.
Pretty good.
I don't know. You call him after. You got his number.
Hi, Bob Seger.
All right, 248-539-9797. Again, this is the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call all day long at 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's 1-800-569-7283. Here's the deal. You need to get a real approval letter. Yeah, that's right, folks. I'm continuously getting calls at the office. I know you are too, Alex, from real estate agents that have known that they were moving along with the transaction, and they find out 3 weeks in here that their client even can't get a mortgage because they never were really approved. They were just pre-approved. And there's another step you have to take other than just making that phone call. You got to get your documents together over to the mortgage bank and make sure that you get your ducks in a row. Call Capital Mortgage Funding. We'll show you how to do it and how to save money. Let's move on to Mike here, and we're going to be able to help you out, Mike, from South Lyon. Good morning. Welcome to our show. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, how are you doing?
Morning, Mike.
Sir.
I have a motivated seller that wants to sell me a commercial piece of property, but my credit score is not high enough to get the property. How do I go about
Buy a land contract?
Buy it on a land contract.
Correct, sir.
Will he sell it to you on a land contract?
He said he doesn't want to.
Okay.
He can't be that motivated then.
He might if I give him enough money down, I guess.
Hey, Mike, give me an idea. Are you a homeowner now, and do you have any equity in your home where potentially you'd qualify for a residential mortgage? You said your credit's bad. What is the extent of that bad credit?
Well, I do own a home, and my credit is, collectors trying to, collect bills. Actually, the two biggest ones are Dish Network and another television thing.
Mike.
Watch a lot of TV?
He watches a lot of TV. Hey, Mike, what are you going to do with this commercial building, and how much is it?
How much is it?
Yeah. And what are you going to do with it?
Well, it has about a $7,000 monthly income.
Oh, that's good. So you want to buy it for investment purposes.
So why is he getting rid of it? If he's making $7,000 a month, why the lucky guy that gets to buy it from him?
Anytime, anywhere.
97.1 The Ticket.
Ready, welcome back to the show, 9:46. If you're just joining us, we got a day full of sports and excitement here in Southeast Michigan, a weekend full of it. Keep it here on 97.1 all weekend long for unbelievable coverage of, we got still Tiger baseball. We got
big game in East
football
Lansing tonight, my man.
Got a little football happening tomorrow. What's that?
Big game in East Lansing tonight.
We got a big game at East Lansing. We got Michigan playing, and we had some great high school football last night. I won't even tell you that West Bloomfield somehow pulled out a 17-16 victory against Rochester Adams, who's a real tough team.
16.
They
And
were undefeated. Adams was undefeated.
I got to get with all my boys at the D Zone, but we'll definitely be talking with the D Zone. We're going to start giving you high school scores.
Good job.
And also all the other cities out there. We're going to start doing a little D Zone thing here because I'll tell you, high school football to me and high school, it has a lot to do with sense of community, buying a house in that community, being part of a community. All our small towns like Alex Berkeley and all the towns similar to that, whether it be Romeo,
Berkeley,
Ann Arbor. I don't want to miss anyone out there, but all around Southeast Michigan.
I love Berkeley.
And here's a call from Belleville, too. And I'll tell you, there's some great high school football, and it really brings the communities together. And we're going to bring a little bit of that onto the show coming up. Hey, let's move off to Mike Tomchek here. Mike Tomchek is calling in from Troy. He's our appraiser who comes on the show every once in a while. Hey, Mike, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Up, man?
Hey, I was listening to the show. It sounds great this morning. I'll make it real quick since I know it's the end of the show. But in regards to the previous caller, continue to show. You can market CCS, which is under contract, continue to show. It's actually really common, and the seller does it if the contract says that the buyer is not willing to pay for any repairs. So it's just a way in order for them to continue keeping the home getting exposure while they're waiting for the inspection and the appraisal. It's actually really common that the seller still continues to show.
You might see that on an FHA loan that potentially there are some repairs, and you're saying that if it's on the purchase agreement that the buyers or the seller is going to be responsible for these repairs, that they're still able to sort of leave the contract open until a particular date or till...
No, the contract is still under contract, but they're still going to continue to show the property in case the buyer is not willing to pay for the repairs.
Then they have some backup offers, I see.
Exactly. That way, the entire time this is going on, the seller is not losing exposure time.
James, you're shaking your head over there. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just looking for some clarity from Mark. Mark, you're saying that once it's been bottom line signed, they're cleared of all contingencies. You're saying that you believe the seller can still show the property?
Oh, it's not that I believe it. They absolutely can. If you go in the MLS and you look at that little little orange ticker that says CCS, that's what CCS actually stands for. It stands for Contract Continue to Show. That's actually what you market.
But that's after all contingencies, not during any contingency phase. That's after all.
But hold on, James. What do you got?
Well, I was going to say, Mark, you're a rock star. You listen to almost every little detail of that call. I appreciate you following up with us. I could barely hear in my headphones. I'm not going to make any excuses for you, but that's a good one. I appreciate it.
But, Mike,
that.
let me ask you this question. Now, is that an agreement that the buyer and sellers, realtors have to have, or is it put in the listing ticket? I mean...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's an agreement that the buyers and sellers have to have, and it also has to be marked that way. So instead of going into Real Comp and marking it pending, you go into Real Comp and mark it CCS instead, so that it's still disclosed that, hey, if you're going to show this house, just so you know it is under contract currently.
Hey, you know what? If you can make it a win-win for all parties and all parties have been disclosed and they know what's going on, then fine. Then so be it. Makes that way it makes sense then.
That's what I got for you.
Good stuff. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, my man.
Mike Tomchek from Paramount Appraisals calling in. Hey, let's move off to Todd in Belleville. Good morning, Todd. Welcome to our show.
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
We're good. What's up?
Morning, Todd.
Well, I'm calling about, I purchased this house in 2010, and I got it foreclosed. It was $93,000 was the purchasing amount, and I'm down to like $86,000 owing on it. It's a 2,100 square foot house with 2 baths and 3 bedrooms, but I think Zillow.com, which isn't really correct, but all the time, but it's like at 179.
Yeah.
But my credit score is at a 610. I was wanting to I have put a roof on the house 2 years ago. I did it myself, and then I put a hot water tank in it. It's the only thing I've done to the house. But there's some cosmetic things I was wanting to try to do and landscaping, but my credit score is only at a 610.
So you want to take some cash out?
To do anything?
Is that what you're trying to do, a cash out refinance?
I've got a lot of offers to try to refinance, but I mean, I heard of a bunch of different fees, and I didn't know if that would be wise to try to refinance the house into a lower rate.
So what kind of mortgage you have right now? Is it conventional FHA?
It's actually a rural development.
Oh, it's an RD loan. Okay, so that's actually a great loan, man.
He bought it right, but you got to get that credit up.
Yeah, that credit score is a little low to do a cash out refinance on a rural development loan.
Yeah, that's what. As I said, I got 11 payments left on the debt consolidating loan I have.
All right, Todd. Here,
because that's I got with them, and that's why my credit score jumped down. But I was 38 months to pay it off, but I'm 11 months left. So I pretty much want to try to.
Yeah.
Todd.
I don't know if the interest rates will still be that way though.
Todd, listen.
All right, Todd, we want to take a look at that though.
Todd, I have some great software. I can run your credit report, and I can run it through this product we have, and it'll tell us what we have to pay off or pay down, and the impact it'll have on your credit scores.
Right. Okay.
So let's
do
that.
Like when you kind of do the loan, the creditor will actually probably pay down.
Correct, sir.
Some of the other bills, and then get it where my credit score is.
Right.
Correct. So let me call for the show.
Okay.
Get
Is
some information
there a
from
number I can call you guys back on?
I have your phone number, but you can always call Cap Mortgage Funding at 1-800 low rate, also 569-7283. But I've got your number. I'll call you in about 20 minutes, and
sit tight, Todd.
Take care
we'll get you fixed up.
Okay, actually, if you'd be able to call me back, I'm working right now, so I wasn't able to write that number down, but I don't know if you guys would be able to get me a call back.
How about I call you Monday? You can enjoy your
Monday?
weekend. Yep, that work
that'd
for
be
you?
good.
All right, buddy. I'll call you then, dude.
Thanks,
Yep,
Todd.
thank you.
All
See
right,
you,
outstanding. Hey, you know what? I'm excited for him because at the end of the day, he made a good purchase. He bought the house right. He's fixed it up a little bit. It's got equity in there. We could either do two things. We could potentially do an FHA cash out refinance, even with his low credit scores, pay off his debt consolidation loan that he currently has, get him all fixed up, give him the money he needs to fix the house up right, and that would probably put him back on the map a lot sooner now. Or we can work with getting his credit score up and putting him into a conventional loan. At the end of the day, he might be an FHA cash out refinance, and that's a great loan for anyone out there. Again, if you bought the house right and you have an opportunity now to do some other things to really solidify the house, make it, if the house is worth double, then go ahead and do it.
So there are two things that are going to be the key to that. Here, it's going to be his credit score.
Yep.
And the other is going to be the appraisal, the property value, to see what we can do.
Well, he's got equity. He said it was worth $175
I know,
or
but
more.
you still got to get appraised. And
That's what Zillow said, man. It's got to be true.
So we had
might be close. It might be close though.
So we had, gentlemen and ladies, we had somebody go ahead and reach out to us on Facebook and say, the question was, to appraisers, is it true that by a general rule of thumb, the bank will appraise a house for twice the SEV? Well, here's the short answer. The short answer to that is no. Appraisers have rules they have to go by. First, comparing homes to comparable sales, same type of home, comparable sales and homes in the subject area. An independent appraiser is going to do a comprehensive appraisal report. But the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to take a look at comparable homes that have sold in that area. They just don't go pull the SEV, multiply it by 2, and say that's the value of the house. It could be a lot higher, could be a lot lower. So the sales approach is going to be key. Mike Tomczyk, thanks for bringing that up in our meeting. But bottom line is, we know that.
He's a good dude.
But we know that people get so emotional about their house. You got to take a look at your house in the same line of thinking as another home that's sold in your neighborhood within a reasonable period of time. That's what it goes by. It doesn't go by square footage or that cool patio or the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip that you got hanging in your
horseshoe pits.
Right.
Dome
you
hockey.
Can't do that. Right. It's comparable sales in your neighborhood. So I hope we gave the correct answer to that. Mike, you can confirm that. We certainly know where to go to, Mike Tomczyk. We appreciate that.
It always reminds me that, and James, thanks for joining us. James Parker from Remax Vision. It's been really great having you as we're getting closer to wrapping up the show here. But, we love the same thing.
He's a good dresser, too. He's got his cufflinks with his initials.
He's all good.
we
educate clients.
Good,
I'll tell you, that's what we talked about last night, James. Educating clients through all facets of the transaction. We do this without stepping on any other agents. We get insurance professionals to stay in their lane and teach you about insurance. We're extremely knowledgeable, and that knowledge gives you the confidence to move forward. And that's what we talked about.
Right. I know that we talked about things that buyers should never compromise on last night. My biggest piece of advice for that would really be, trust your instincts. Your instincts tend to lead you in the right direction. And do your homework. Have a plan. Partner with great people. And deal with your fears. So don't allow your fears to be an obstacle, or fears tend to cost you money. Interest rates are low. Just buy today. Call Capital Mortgage Funding. Find out what the process is on their end, and partner with great people.
Yeah, other things that you should definitely not compromise is the wrong school district, the wrong house for your needs. If it's way too far away from your employer and you might have a job change, things of that nature.
Functional obsolescence.
Lots of other things.
I used it wrong, didn't I?
No's all right.
Was that all right?
Gentlemen, again, it was a great
I was
hour
trying to
with
sound
you.
smart.
Alex, we're going to be back next Saturday right here in the
You got
same
it,
place.
brother.
We'll say salute to your Spartans. Diane Patone, thank you. Diane Patone from Capital Mortgage Funding. Call Diane. She's got a soft voice. She's easy to deal with. 1-800-LOW-RATE if you don't want us.
Go green.
That's no problem. Hey, for Harry Glantz, Harvey Freed, Alex Nafusi, James Parker from the Huntington Woods office, Remax Vision. Want to thank you for coming in. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. We'll see you next Saturday.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.